Namaskar, greetings to all. I welcome all the viewers. In today's session, we are going to talk about the need and benefits of learning to read and different strategies for improving the reading habits among primary children. It has been observed that with so many distractions in this era, it is not easy for today's generation to sit quietly and read with undivided attention span and concentration, and it makes the task of reading difficult for both children and teachers. I am quite positive that many of you here might have experienced it as well. As every child is different and they learn to understand the concept of reading at their own pace and interest, in which surroundings also play an important role. I am quite positive that many of you here might have experienced it as well. As every child is different and they learn to understand the concept of reading at their own pace and interest, in which surrounding also plays an important role. Foundational literacy requires students to understand the content in the text. Reading ability, therefore, constitutes the core of a student's learning. Smiles and happiness grows manifold if a student reads and understands the content independently. Reading by themselves provides a sense of accomplishment to young learners, which needs to be awarded with positive affirmations in the form of words and action like clapping, remarks, etc. The brain's feedback mechanism works better with encouragement. Let us highlight some important studies to understand this a little better. According to NEP 2020, there is learning crisis in terms of FLN, that is foundational literacy and numeracy. A number of annual surveys and studies about learning done in our country revealed that a learning crisis was happening in the Indian schools, where children, despite regularly being promoted to the higher classes, were not learning the basic literacy skills and had very low comprehension. Studies suggest that lack of reading skills is directly correlated with school dropouts. This adds to the magnitude of the crisis. Research suggests we can achieve the necessary goals of FLN only if children learn to read, then only they can read to learn, so that they are not left behind. Let us talk about benefits of learning to read. The studies mentioned above embarks upon the utmost importance of reading, as it is a skill that can be used for lifetime. As a teacher, we know that reading is a gateway to learning about anything and everything. It helps to discover new things and educate oneself in any area of life. A child can learn about their interest through reading things they enjoy. Through reading, children encounter new vocabulary which helps them expand their word bank and improve their overall language skills. This in return makes communication and conveying oneself better, which is really necessary for personal growth and development. Reading gives space for imagination and creativity. When we watch a movie or any program on TV, we unknowingly build a habit of being spoon fed with all the information available on the screen, and there is nothing much to imagine or think outside the box. Whereas, a book in its pure form is just words on a page and our minds have to do the work. This does wonders to one's learning ability and thus empower them, as they are now are capable of forming their own world of imagination. Reading not only increases concentration, in fact, it also helps in cognitive development, improves relationship with parents, teachers, siblings, and most importantly oneself. Children should have a mind of their own which helps in independent decision making, which is very helpful in being decisive and aware of surroundings and not getting influenced easily with others. Learning to read does not happen by itself, does it? It has been found that maximum children say that they would read more if they could find books with more pictorial representations, which subconsciously excites their learning ability, as pictures give meaning to the words we say, thus support literacy development. Contrary to what people believe, learning to read is not a natural process that happens on all its own. It is a complex process that requires the proper teaching of various skills and strategies, such as knowing the relationship between letters forming words and words formulations into sentences and its pronunciations. Therefore, few strategies to enhance reading skills can be inculcating habits to read daily, introduction to print rich environment, showcasing library as learner's paradise, making reading fun, creative instead of monotonous, establishing regular reading routine in the classrooms, keep books within easy reach and more availability as per number of students, create a reading space which is filled with positive quotes and encouraging words, letting them read as per their interest instead of forcing them to read certain categories which might further compel them to read. Taking fun trips to library with introduction to colorful and funny storybook covers. Find reading moments in everyday life. Surround students with books. Set an example by reading in front of them, clear and loud. Also ask them to mimic reading aloud. It makes them to read more carefully and slowly with better pronunciation, as it gives them more time to process what they read and in turn improves comprehension, because not only they are seeing the words, but hearing them too out loud too. Now, we discuss about print rich environment. The National Education Policy NEP 2020 lays stress and drives the focus back to the primary goal of education. To ensure learning for all children, this can be achieved easily by creating a print rich environment. All literacy rich environment has a significant impact on what goes on in the classroom and sets the stage for interactions with a wide variety of options. The facilitators should create a literary rich classroom to promote interaction with print and literacy learning for students. A print rich school environment can play a crucial role in supporting and enhancing the learning to read process. These are some more benefits of a print rich school in developing children's reading skills. Print rich environment assists in developing reading skills by enhancing language exposure. A print rich school exposes children to a wide range of written language, including signs, labels, posters, notice boards and classroom displays. This exposure helps children develop language skills, expand vocabulary and become familiar with written forms of communication. Promoting letter and word recognition. The presence of letters, words and print throughout the school environment helps children recognize and differentiate between letters and words. They become more proficient in letter sound correspondence and word recognition, which are essential skills for reading. By vocabulary development, a print rich school exposes children to a variety of words and concepts. By vocabulary development, a print rich school exposes children to a variety of words and concepts. Labels on classroom objects like door, window, blackboard, whiteboard, fan, word walls, charts and reading materials help expand children's vocabulary and deepen their understanding of language. Developing skills for comprehension. The presence of books, reading materials and print based resources in the school environment support children's reading comprehension. It also encourages children to explore books, engage in self-selected reading and develops a love for reading. Thus, by surrounding students with print-rich environment, schools create opportunities for learning to read. These factors contribute to building strong reading foundation and nurturing lifelong readers. Now, let us discuss benefits of library for enhancing reading habits. Now, another most important thing needed for reading are proper use of colorful books and magazines. This can be done easily by using hanging library, by creating a reading corner or class library shelf. Teacher can make a hanging library in the classroom itself by use of a string on the wall. As you can see in the picture, where lots of colorful magazines, children books are hanged and clipped from where a child can easily pick up any book of his or her choice and read. These books can be changed twice a month. Class library. A shelf is provided in every primary class where books are displayed in such a manner that every child can see its cover, title and borrow the book for reading. The ratio of student and the books should be 1:3. Reading cards. These cards can be used for conversation in pairs under the guidance of teacher and can be kept at the class library shelf. Joyful learning and use of technology. The best way to make kids to read is to make it fun. Every child learns at his or her own pace. So, always remember, the single most important thing you can do is to make it enjoyable. You can play games like hopscotch with synonyms or a treasure hunt by flashcards. By reading regularly, mixing things up with the activities you choose and letting the child pick out their own books occasionally will instill early love of reading and give them the best chance at reading successfully in no time. Nowadays, one of the best ways children learn is use of technology. Smartphone app like Read Along help to improve reading with gamification. This can be done with some screen time control by the parents. App like this can work offline as well, thus helping with worries about unsupervised access to internet. Thank you all. Let's make reading fun for the learners.